welcome, Kim.
Hi. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Now we're talking. First of all, Kim, I told the audience that you've been acting for 30 years, but I would say your career really started in '91 when you got the role as Chet in The Last Boy Scout. Can you please tell us...
Chet? Did you say Chet? Or Chet? Or shit?
I say Chet. But can you please tell us how you reacted when you got that part?
Yeah, it was 1991. It was my first big Hollywood film. To the late Tony Scott, who's no longer with us. He gave me my first big gig. And Bruce Willis, man. I'll never forget that movie because when it opened at the theaters, I happened to be in Toronto. I was filming in Toronto. And they had me go to the opening night and it was packed. And they introduced me up to the front of the stage and nobody knew who I was. It was perfect back then. And I walked up to the front and I said, if you like Bruce Willis, you're gonna really like this movie a lot. And if you hate Bruce Willis, you're still gonna like it a lot because I kicked the shit out of him. So that was the beginning for me.
And now we are 30 years later, and if we go back like 8 years, in 2007, you produced and acted in the film The Poet. And the film won the Best Picture and Best Director at the New York State and Island Film Festival. Is being behind the camera something that you like as much as being in front of the camera?
Yeah, I'll be directing one of these days for sure. I think I've produced 4 movies to date, with a couple more on the horizon. But yes, I do want to direct someday, and I will. But for me, Sons of Anarchy, which was a bit of a game changer, it's nice now to get back to movies full time. I think I've done 7 films in the past 14 months, so get ready.
Yeah.
This face is going to be everywhere playing different guys, and I'm really excited.
So you're on...
I feel really weird standing up here. I feel like I should be sitting smoking a cigar with you guys. I don't know.
It's because we want everyone, even in the back, to see you. Well, talking about acting, you said you were on screen from the time as of today, but earlier you were on stage as well. What do you prefer, on screen or on stage?
Yeah, I did my first play in 1927. I was a young man. What do I prefer? I prefer them all. But it is true that I really do want to get back to stage, and I wish I could share something with all of you, but there's something in the horizon that is coming up for me if I decide to do it. It's a fucking amazing play. It's hardly ever done. It's just so amazing. So I think it's time for my kids. I have 2 girls in their early 20s, and they've never seen their dad on stage. So I've done about 50 professional plays. It's time to go back to the stage, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the Sons of Anarchy, so I'm a bit curious. Tig Trager from Sons of Anarchy fears nothing.
Tig who?
Tig Trager.
Who's that? No, I'm kidding.
I hope it's you. Well, I'm curious because I heard that you don't fear anything either when choosing a character to portray. Is that true?
What, that I don't fear anything?
Exactly, when choosing a character to portray.
I don't know if I fear many things. I fear, sucking in a movie. I don't think I've ever sucked in a movie, so no. I don't fear too many things, but the thing that Sons of Anarchy, and certainly all of you who follow my career, Sons was one of those game-changing things from Kurt Sutter. And when I decided to say yes to playing Tig, he couldn't write for all of us all the time, but I would argue that when he did write for Tig, I got some of the best stuff. I really did, and I'll never forget it. Yeah, Tig started off being such a tough son of a bitch, and Not many people loved him when he killed Donna. Get over it. A long time ago. And but I think we could talk about this for a long time, but I really do believe that Tig really did go through the full circle, right, of emotions. And I think a lot of people by the end of season 5, season 6, and season 7 really were on Tig's side, certainly by the end of the series. And I'll never forget some of the stuff that Sutter gave me to play, and I'll be forever grateful for him for trusting me with the whole my daughter dying and the whole Venus thing in the end. How amazing was that, the Venus stuff? How amazing was that? So, yeah, and I didn't even die. What the hell?
Yeah, let's stay with Sons of Anarchy for a while. I heard that you were playing golf when you got the part. Can you please tell us about that? Because
No, I can't tell you that story. No, you guys all know the story, and if you don't, I'll make it really quick. Did you know that they shot the pilot of Sons, and I wasn't in it, and Ron Perlman wasn't in it? Did you know that? Are you aware of that? So, for those of you who aren't aware, they shot the pilot. I had auditioned for a couple of characters. One was Clay, I was too young for Clay, and another character, and it wasn't right. So I walked away from it all and wished Kurt all the best. And 3 months went by, and I was playing around at golf, and I never turned my phone on when I golf, because I'm a fucking professional. And I had, I think, 18 messages on my phone when I got off from my agents, my managers, my wife, and they all went, wow. And I went, what happened? And they wanted to get hold of me 5 hours earlier. Kurt Sutter wanted to meet me that day because they were reshooting the pilot at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so this is now 5 o'clock at night, so I thought, well, I lost that. And they said, no, Kurt would still see you. And I said, well, I have to get out of my golf duds. So I went home and put on my boots and my jeans and a t-shirt, and I walked in, and Kurt was sitting there in all his tattoos and his long hair, and I said, what am I doing here? And he goes, well, we shot the pilot, it's good, but we need it to be great. We had to let go of the original Clay. They hired Ron Perlman that day, and they didn't have Tig. They didn't have a sergeant at arms. So they really wanted me to consider it, and I stood there, and I know some of my big fans like you four, you know me, and I never say yes to anything unless I know what it is. So I said to Sutter, you have to show me something. And he showed me one scene, and it was so violent, it was so psychotically violent, that I said, this isn't for me. I can't say yes to this guy. And he says, no, wait a minute. Tig's gonna be loyal, he's gonna be tough, psychotic, but he's gonna be funny, he's gonna have a huge heart, and it's gonna be all about the club. You need to take this ride with us. And I said yes. So there you go, there you have it.
that's worth an applause, isn't it? As I said earlier, if you have any questions in the audience, don't hesitate to raise your hand, okay? Yeah.
Sutter and playing Tig, the psychotic but gentle-hearted.
Gentle-hottie?
Hearted.
Oh, gentle-hearted. I thought you said gentle-hottie. Kurt Sutter is, he's amazing. He's completely fucked up. He's so committed to his vision, and he cast this series so well. We all got along. Kurt even played Otto, as you know. He's completely crazy. It was never a boring moment. And you guys know this already, but we all got along, which is a miracle, right? I'd never done a regular in a television series before, so you always hear, oh, people fight or they want this or that. We all got along. It was amazing, so it was a really good time.
Great, with another question from the audience.
Hi Kim, can you tell us about filming Officer Down?
Rachel, I can't understand what you said. Say it again.
I'm sorry, I haven't got a Canadian accent. Officer Down, when are we going to see it, and tell us about filming it?
Officer Down. Okay, so peeps, work with me, not the little ones. I'm sorry for swearing, by the way. I really am. Please forgive me. So I did in the last 14 months, I've done 7 films, which is a lot. And one of them is called Officer Down, and it's based on a graphic novel by Joe Casey. Clown Sean Crahan from Slipknot directed it. It's my movie. I play Officer Down. It takes place in the future. I'm a cop. I'm a good cop who keeps dying. They keep bringing me back. It takes place in 2030. LA is just a mess. It's Gotham City times 10. It's just a mess. It's all run by the bad guys. And I cannot wait to share this with the world. I lost a lot of weight. I wish I could show you my stomach from back then. It was kind of good, actually. But yeah, my gun weighed 16 pounds. I ripped my shoulder a couple of times, but it's an incredible tale of Los Angeles in 2030. And when it comes out, it'll be sometime this year, Rach. I don't know when. They're still working on the picture, but I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's pretty good. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've done a lot of movies, and I mean, over the year you've done 130 movies. But I heard that when you decided to go to university, you didn't know what to choose, so you took drama just by chance. How come you chose drama?
I can't divulge that. I can't answer that question. No, I took a drama class because I knew I'd pass it for sure. I was going to be a history teacher, and I thought I'd take a drama class to meet girls. Actually, I was in the high school. I was just a tough kid and had a lot of muscle cars and played hockey and didn't know anything about Shakespeare or any of that stuff. So when I went to college, I thought, well, I'll pass this for sure. And I ended up falling so in love with drama and Tennessee Williams and Shakespeare and Sam Shepard and George Bernard Shaw. I didn't know that world, and gay and straight, and it was amazing for me. And it changed my life. And so I worked really, really hard at it. And I didn't suffer fools lightly, and I'm a Canadian boy, proud of it. Let's give it up for Canada. Yeah. And so I've always had this real deep love affair with Europe. I love Europe so much. I've been here a million times, but not to Sweden, so I'm a virgin. Yeah, it's really nice to be in Sweden. I really mean that. And it just worked out for me. I just worked really, really hard, and here we are.
Got a question from the man in the audience.
Jesus, it's running up here.
Hi, Tim. It's not. I'm sorry. I can't got my tongue. I just want to hear that character you bring. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you hear me? That character you played in Waterworld, the Drifter.
Yeah.
Can you just?
No.
Yes.
No.
Please.
No. Here's the thing with me. I played Streetcar Named Desire. I did that on Broadway, right? Stella. And after I finished on Broadway, it was such a success. People would come up to me all the time and say, "Would you scream Stella?" And I went, "No, pay your money, go see me on stage." But no, that character was unbelievable, brother. I'll never forget it. Waterworld, I still think today, other than Sons, Waterworld's the character that people can't get out of their heads. And Kevin Costner's a really, really big buddy of mine. I've done a couple movies with him, and something's coming up. Can't say anything. But Kevin's one of my boys, and I love him to death. And that character was so from me. I mean, I ad-libbed half of it. That, I don't know, Rachel, what was that accent? It was sort of like a Irish, Welsh, English, bullcrap accent. But I was committed. I was never afraid to fail. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, I did that with my hands too. Yeah.
Well, talking about characters, I heard that your character Carl Urtz in Entourage garnered so much attention that the audience requested his return. But how come you choose to return?
Oh, so we're talking about Entourage. Have you ever seen Entourage, you guys? So, yeah, in the first, I think they asked me to do a part. I was a fan of the show, so I did a small little part in the third season, fourth season. I can't remember what season it was. And then for the final season, they wanted to bring back 5 or 6 of their favorite actors from the previous years, and they asked if I would come back. And I said, well, I'm not coming back unless they really, write something for me, like really write something for me. So they said, we've got something in mind. Can we send it to you? So they sent it to me. And for those of you who saw it scared the shit out of me, actually. That part really, my God, I mean, that had never been done on that show before, right? That level of intensity and humor and sadness. It was such a sad deal that obviously I was really glad I went back, and no one who's seen it can forget that episode. Yeah. Just stay down there, for Christ's sake. Just...
Hello.
Hello.
So you
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You got your Redwood Original on, I see. You got your hoodie.
Yeah, I do.
Your bunny hug, we call them in Canada.
So anyway, you did the movie Hero Wanted together with Tommy Flanagan.
Tommy who?
Flanagan.
Who's that? I'm kidding.
And that wasn't that long a time before Sons. It was, I think it was released the same year.
True story.
Yeah.
So those of you who could not hear that, Hero Wanted, a movie I did with Tommy and Norman Reedus. We shot it in Bulgaria. When we were on that movie, Flanagan, fucked up Flanagan, one of my best pals in the world, completely crazy. He said to me when we were over there, there's this, and of course he was speaking in Scottish, so I couldn't understand a damn thing he said. He said, there's this new biker show coming up, but I know all about it. You should get your people on it. It was Sons of Anarchy. And sure enough, we finished that movie, and a year and a bit later, we were shooting Sons of Anarchy, so pretty funny. How was it to meet him? He won't remember meeting me at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. No, it's great. Tommy's great. I love it.
While talking about filming like Sons of Anarchy, do you have any special or memorable pranks that you can share with us?
Pranks?
Exactly, on-set pranks.
You know, I will say this, that show, the first 2 seasons were full of funny stuff, right? Like funny stuff. The last couple seasons, there was nothing funny left. So we came to work to go to work. It was really emotional and really just, oh God, who's dying now? How many people are dying today? Oh, I gotta carry that Uzi around one more time. I mean, it became mental. So, yeah, the pranks were pretty funny the first couple of years, but after that, it was pretty serious.
That's good, because we're running out of time, so we need to round up with 2 last questions.
Would you like to act as Tig again?
Would I like to act as Tig again? You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I am so grateful to have been invited to play him with the guys and girls that we had. But it's over. You know, and I think none of us will forget it, right? I mean, it really is like, wow, what a series. How lucky were we? But that's magic in a bottle. That was I wish Kurt and John Landgraf and FX and all their future prequels or Mayan spin-offs, I wish them all the luck in the world. I really do. They've got my support. But I'm done. I mean, Tig was something I'll never forget. Now, you never say never. You know, if they call up me and Tommy, I want to do a movie, well, yeah. I'll put the cut back on. It's hiding in my house right now. I can't tell you where. But it's in my house, and my motorcycle's in my garage. So you never know, but you know what? I've moved on. We've all moved on. It was an emotional ride, that show, and we're so lucky we did it, and I'm not here talking to you without it. So, you know, thank you for being such amazing fans. I mean it. You guys are amazing. Yeah.
This is the last question from the audience.
Hi, since we already talked about my favorite movie, Waterworld, I was wondering about Skinwalkers, that wonderful movie. You were wearing a necklace. Did you wear the same necklace as Tig? And do you have any hints for the maybe prequel Sons of Anarchy series?
Wow, Skinwalkers. It was seen by 4 people, and you were one of them. I love you. Stan Winston, the late, great Stan Winston, is gone now. He was one of the greatest special effects artists in the planet. And we were so hoping for big things with Skinwalkers, and they just changed the script so much, you guys. I mean, here's a story for you. You know, when you sign on to do a movie, and then you get to the set, and they've changed the whole movie. The whole dialogue changed. The story changed. Me and Elias Koteas and Jason Bear were like, what have they done? What has happened? It was so much, it was better before. It was restricted. It was darker. it was why we wanted to do it. So that movie, I know Stan was very sad how it turned out, but we all worked really hard on it. And yes, that necklace that I wore as that guy, it did something to me. It really, when I had it on for that wolf, it did something to me, and I never put it on again until Tig Trager. When I decided to figure Tig out, and it took me a few episodes. Like I said, I just got cast the night before. I was 190 pounds, dripping wet. I had short hair, no beard, no nothing, but I could fucking ride. I could ride that motorcycle, and so I've been riding my whole life. But I put that thing on in about the second or third or fourth episode, and it really solidified my inner wolf, really. So.
Yeah, and as the final question, since we unfortunately need to round up, I'm curious to know, who is your biggest source of inspiration?
Who's my biggest source of inspiration? You know, I don't want to be corny or anything, but my dad. He's gone now, you know, but my dad met my mom in a bowling alley. And he was a bit of a poet. He played the spoons, he sang a little bit, but he never made a lot of money, you know, and I had two brothers, I still do, and we lived in a really small house in Saskatoon, and my dad was the guy who just, when I started doing my thing and my acting thing, he just kept going, go, go, go. So my dad. I also love Joseph Campbell. For any of you who don't know Joseph Campbell, you should. Follow Your Bliss, The Power of Myth. It's just about this planet, which is so going through such rough times right now with some fucked up people, and yet we're all here and we're all happy and trying to find our way in this beautiful world we live in. And Joseph Campbell's all about mysticism and mythology and trees and grass and spirits, and it really helped me along my journey, for sure. And beer. Really good, strong beer. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kim. Ladies and gentlemen, a big applause for Kim Coates.
We could talk all day, but I really mean this. I really want to thank you for having me, and for those of you who have come by to see me. I don't stand on that side of the table. I'm on that side of the table because I really love my fans, and I don't do a lot of these, but the ones I do, I want to thank you all for just coming and saying hi and buying stuff and just being here. And I love Sweden, so there you go. Thanks.
Thank you.